What's happening, my good people? So today we're gonna change it up a little bit. And I'm mostly doing it just because even though I told you guys I hate talking politics just because it's like you're gonna get the 50-50. Um, I'm just gonna kind of speak it because at the end of the day, if you don't say what you got to say, then it's never gonna be heard. So, the review today is gonna be off a TikTok video of a young woman, which I'm ashamed to say that she's only literally 1 year younger than I. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I very much my bias thinking that this is more of a Gen Z problem, but yeah, no, unfortunately, yes, it does rage up to not only millennials but Gen X, and just it makes me wonder like where's the society did we really go wrong? But I'm gonna let her start talking because she's gonna make a. I'm not even gonna say make a fool of herself. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm gonna definitely give mine. Just believe that. So let's get into it.
That Roland Martin interview just proved everything that we've been saying that I said in my past videos about black men when it comes to their lack of just comprehension and understanding their place in society. They, because they're too busy having oppression Olympics with black women competing with us, looking at we're the enemy, they fail to realize that you benefit from patriarchy. You do not have more of a struggle being a black man. You actually have a benefit over black women because you are a man.
So let me just at least stop her right there because at what point in time, I just want to know like what benefit do we have that they don't have? And I say this because look, I'm not even making this about black men, black women. I hate that they even keep trying to separate us as if at this point we're not all struggling in the same boat. But let me make one thing very clear. If there was the best time to be a woman, that time is definitely right now. And it has been for a good while now. Now, in some of my previous videos, I went on about how they're pretty much pushing initiatives of women getting into STEM programs, becoming more doctors, more CEOs, pushing for women to be up there. Now, if you want to talk about black men, they're not pushing that for black men, and they're not advocating nearly even close to as many resources as they are for women to be up there. Black women in general. And to make it even worse, look, let's keep it up 100. What Camilla's been getting away with and all the excuses that y'all make in her favor, that tells you alone that let it have been a black man or a actual black woman there running with the kind of fact checking that they have to do to pretty much confirm that majority of what this woman says is a lie. The only thing I think I've heard that's the truth so far is that she grew up in a middle class home. That's about it. And I'm honestly almost on the fence about that at this point. I don't know too many middle class homes that have Jamaican slaves. But look, hey, I'm keeping it at that. I'm letting her go on to continue because it's just, I mean, it's shameful, honestly, to see someone that's around my age bracket, and I would hope that they have a little bit more education because, I mean, honestly, like, with my age, I've seen kind of a lot. As in, I've seen the world before social media took off, and I've seen the world after social media took it off. And that's kind of the joy of being a millennial because you got to see the before and the after. It's not too many age groups right now that's actually had that opportunity to see that. So I've been able to actually see the effects, the positives and the negatives that the big boom in social media has had on not only the job market, but in our culture as Americans. Let's see, our neighborhoods, all kind of things, like how everything's been affected in just the last, I mean, everything's changed drastically in just the last 5 years alone. So to even say going back 10 years or 15 years, it's like we've got to see multiple changes. But I'm gonna let her continue to go on because it's laughable at this point. And unfortunately, I even pushed over just so you can see where it's not just her. Unfortunately, I mean, look at the first comment. Girl, we are tired. 399 likes. Roland is the man. He made his point, but they didn't want to hear it. Unfortunately, yes, there are some who actually believe in this. So yeah, I'm gonna let it continue on.
Black men do not understand patriarchy and how to use it to their advantage. They're too
I ain't even gonna rant on this one that long, but I'm just gonna go ahead and point out it's not that black men don't understand. We, if anything, we understand clearly, and we understand what a setup looks like. We understand what being taken advantage looks like, and at this point, I mean, count your losses. You got a lot of brothers who just ain't hearing it. And it's not just black men, but it's white men, Indian men, Spanish men, men across the board are tired of hearing what we're not doing. And then as soon as it's time for an election, we're hearing that we're not doing enough. But then outside of election years, oh, we don't need you. Better off alone. Want my peace. But let's go on.
too busy making excuses and complaining. And the thing is, statistics and everything else shows that you benefit more as a black man than a black woman. But it doesn't matter how simply people break it down to them. Like, he had to talk to them like they were 5 for them to understand that they absolutely benefit more than black women. They're just not using the fucking resources and tools given to them.
And I'm wondering, like, what resources and tools? Because look, I'm going to point out now. Early on, my first marriage, joined the military. Unfortunately, went through a divorce. It happens. It actually happens a lot more common than people think it does. Majority of the time, the people run in relationships, they always assume it's the guy, PTSD, or him want to go off to different countries and cheat and stuff like that. And sure, that's not everybody's story, but I'm going to tell you, majority of the guys that I've met, usually good guys have families, wife or girlfriend cheats on them. Typically, they are the ones who break up the family. And half of these guys still end up having to either pay her child support or come back home to find another man living in their house after they've been deployed. Look, I've seen it multiple times. And as a single dad, like I said, I was married while I was in there, got out. Now, I was fortunate that me and my ex-wife was able to come to an agreement that I was able to provide much better for my daughter. And this was me being pretty much the primary provider even before I joined the military. But I'm just saying this because she said there's all these programs, stuff like that. What I will tell you that there's not is programs for men that are actually having to raise their kids alone. Yeah, there's no women, infant, and children programs that's going to help you pay for childcare. Nothing that's going to help you buy food. Nothing's going to help you make sure that your child is not only being able to excel compared to them having a single mom and not a single dad, but there's nothing out there except for you getting told you're going to have to get out there and grind. So, yes, that's exactly what I did. Honestly, and I'm not knocking nobody. I get everybody's situation is different. But being someone who was a single dad for multiple years before I got remarried and, had my son and was able to, have a wife who pretty much is the equivalent of my daughter's mom, pretty much, well, better, pretty much is what I'm trying to say, much better than the mom she was birthed to and ended up being the mom that she needed. What I'm trying to put out there is that my line of hearing excuses are very, very minimal because I've had to be there. And I've had to, humble myself in many cases to where I can accept help from family when I told myself that I didn't want their help. And it wasn't me doing it for me, it was me doing it to make sure that I could do better for my child, to be the parent that she needed. At that time frame, it was having to be the parents, because I had to be mom and dad at that time. But long story short, there's no programs for black men out here like there are for women. Like I've already talked about education being pushed more towards them. You have programs that men can't qualify for when you talk about trying to get a first-time home buyer's assistance and stuff like that. And then you don't see men out here being the main ones complaining online about being homeless or their mortgage being too high. They feel like they're being duped. You see women doing that. And I'm not trying to knock women because, like I said, I have a son and a daughter. And I pray that they both can grow up equally loving their life and feeling accomplished. But the reality is that it's too many of y'all that preach like you know what's going on, but don't know what's going on. I mean, look, ma'am, honestly, you couldn't even like. Is this the best you could do your hair before hopping on the camera to vent? To try to make it sound like you know what's going on when you really don't. I'm not even gonna like kind of. I'm not even gonna get into it just yet or what else. I kind of seen and it's just like okay, well these are the people that those 399 likes are kind of agreeing with and stuff like that, and you're gonna see why our people are so cooked because these are the kind of people that they listen to. But I'm gonna let her go on, and then you'll see kind of towards the end what her profession is.
The fact that Magic Johnson and Obama and other like educated black men have to get on a platform and single y'all out on national television on these public platforms because y'all are out here making us look crazy.
And,
The fact
and besides Obama that you mentioned, what exactly makes Magic Johnson so educated? Because I'm pretty sure, honestly, with everything that's here today, especially all the technology we have, not only now, but then also the low barrier to entry to be able to kind of establish yourself back then, to kind of relate, how to say, to transform from basketball player to businessman. um, that's kind of a lot harder today versus back then. Like today, you have to like be not only really really liked, but it's like it's a much bigger barrier to entry. And this is speaking as someone who, yes, I kind of get how the economy works. I'm not rich by no means. I'm not making millions, but for sure, I've made, like I said, about 200K, over 200K within years. Never had a year yet where I've made under 100K. Have all my things paid off. I didn't, within my lifetime so far, I done made a million. I can tell you that for sure. But do I have a million in my bank account like that? No. Do I care about being a millionaire? No. My biggest thing that I aim to be is comfortable and able to live my life at peace how I want to live it, while also still being able to be a provider and be able to leave something for my children and be able to give them an edge and a heads up, but still trying to teach them as well how to make the best use of it. I mean, let's be for real. We're not all going to have a trust fund set up in our name by the time we turn 18 or be able to get a $1 million investment, $10 million investment from our parents alone to start our first business. No, we're not. But reality is that honestly, if we did more thinking and trying to actually create generational wealth by actually listening and knowing what's going on and not just speaking off our feelings, it could possibly happen for a lot more of us than those who do get it. I'm talking about those of us that's my color, her color. But the reality is that y'all get on here talking whatever, thinking y'all got it bad, when you really got it way, way better. And it's like you're dragging everything down worse than it was. Like I said, right now it's the best time to be a woman because you can say whatever, do whatever, and there's no accountability. Nobody's really checking you. Sure, you might get called stupid by some, but then you still getting over 400 likes for talking nonsense.
that they have to explain to you why a man that wants to give immunity to cops that are killing y'all and y'all voting for him is crazy. That they have to explain to y'all why you shouldn't want that. That people can break down to you why Trump is not a better option for you. But your hate for black women, your self-hate is so strong that you're willing to put a man in office that wants to make you destitute, that wants to literally not have you exist or have any rights.
I wish somebody would really check statistics on how many black men are killed by police officers versus how many black women are killed by police officers. I'm pretty certain it's going to weigh more towards the black male, pretty much, as being the one that's being deleted. And then, I'm not even going to get into it big time, but I don't think she understands what qualified immunity means. Look, part of my resume, I've been an officer. Yes, black male officer. With that being said, I know how the law works, and no, you're not going to be out here just wilding and, going against the Constitution and thinking you're not going to get sued or thinking you're not going to get criminally charged. So, look, before people keep talking about this whole just being immune and able to do anything or whatever, that is absolutely not how it works. I can promise you it don't matter how white the cop is, how pale skinned they are. If he kills somebody, even a brother, I don't care if they look like Akon. If he kill a brother in broad daylight for no reason whatsoever, yeah, I would love to see him get out of that. I would absolutely love to see. Not even trying to challenge it because I'm not going to stoop down, but I'm just saying that look, we have the Constitution for a reason. If anything, it's not hating on Kamala. Y'all are so quick to give up your rights that you don't even understand how easy you just made it for the Democratic Party to pick all your candidates going forward. Y'all didn't even pick her. Y'all let them pick her. Y'all let the party pick her. And that's something y'all just gave up and don't even understand that.
You complain about police killing you, about how white people treat you in society, and you're giving them the fucking tools to continue to oppress you. What more do y'all want?
I think the biggest complaint been more so is how honestly women been treating men more than anything. And look, like I said, I want to put out that I'm not a woman hater. Look, I'm married, okay? I can sit back and talk to my wife about these things. She understands completely because some of y'all be out here delusional. And not only that, I have a blended family. So I have had the experience of seeing what dysfunction can look like on both sides. Now, I'm blessed that my first child's mom, I don't want to say blessed, but um, I don't have as much drama like the whole baby mama drama thing due to my first child's mom not being in the picture. Look, she moved on, started her new family. We have an understanding. I didn't ask for no support and no nothing like that. And I've always been a primary caregiver. Look, hey, we're both good. But I also have seen, like I said, on her side with her firstborn, what she was married to as well, when conceived, that yes, I've had to see what a bitter baby mom looks like, but it's actually a dude. And I can only imagine what most people go through having to deal with that. And I told her before, like, if it had to be me, I would have been washing my hands. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no way. So even like all this talk of what is called programs and stuff like that, or them having it up, yeah, no, I can sit back and talk comfortably with my wife because she understands that honestly, unfortunately, in her role, what we could say in family court, she's been treated like the male in the situation. And that's just due to, unfortunately, she got messed over by having a bad judge, and then lawyers, they don't help. I'm gonna tell you that now. It's all about money. All about money. And then you already coming into a situation where a lot of people are more aware these days that most dudes are the ones getting messed over. But unfortunately, yeah, if somebody kind of knows how to play the law system a little bit better than you, you're gonna take the L. Yeah, she went in trying to be fair and stuff like that, and unfortunately, yeah, his family grew up kind of being more dysfunction. Probably a lot of females that's just like you, mom, same just like you, coaching them from the very get-go of how to make sure the law's in your favor. So if you ever divorce, you're gonna be good with getting, if not all the custody, at least majority of custody or half the custody. Even if you ain't gotta have nothing in your name or you ain't gotta be doing good. But that's a whole nother story for another day. Let's continue.
It's so disappointing. And it also shows that y'all are so poorly educated. Y'all are literally slow. That Roland Martin interview.
Poorly educated and slow. Look, I'm gonna point out one thing. I've already said before that. Look, I've had plenty of years where I've made over 200K. I'm not trying to say, my money that I make me any more smarter than anyone, but I'm just saying you don't make too. Look, any person who makes good money can tell you you don't make good money by being dumb. Only as an entertainer. So the only people that I'm pretty sure this lady can relate to is maybe like Lil Scrappy or Plies. The ones who, like I said, they're entertainers, they're dumb, obviously not smart, just talented when it comes to either being an artist, and hell, Magic Johnson, NBA player, ex-NBA player. But anybody with that right brain, a right mind, most people that I know that's in my circle, because I don't typically look, birds together flock together. Most people I know make over 100K too, or high up there, some millions. None of them are talking about voting no Kamala, and they're definitely not being what's called baited by the whole talk down to you and insult you type mindset. Part of the whole reason why, like I said before, I don't show my face is because yes, I have an image to keep when it comes to being professional. I have clients. So with that being said, no, my face will never be shown on this page. But will the truth come out periodically? Absolutely. This lady is delusional. And let me go to the other part. Let me see.
Okay, I'm gonna, as someone who's a full service SW, I want you to chime.
SW for sex worker. So, yes, this lady, she's a sex worker trying to talk politics. Like I said, these are the ladies, and you still got some down here agreeing. These are the ones out here feeling like, they're so political around the debate time. Look, all I'm saying is be careful of these types. These types are willing to let the world burn down just to have a woman in office due to purely hate. Now, if we're gonna go ahead and talk the truth, the biggest hater of women are other women. Other women. And I'm telling you this truthfully. I've worked with them all my life. Majority of my jobs have been office jobs. So, yes, majority have been working right alongside women. The biggest hater of women are other women. And don't get me wrong, yes, they hate males too. But more than anything, they hate women just as equally. So trust me, they don't care about getting Kamala in there because they feel like she can do the job. They care about getting her in there just for the fact that they want someone to be disappointed. They will find any reason whatsoever to give this lady the credentials that she obviously do not have to be in there. I mean, go do your own research. Everything she says either is a lie, made up, stretched drastically, or it's just left disappointment in multiple families and pretty much almost everybody who's had to come in contact with her. But look, the day I take advice from a sex worker, yeah, man, just bury me alive. All right, y'all be easy. Today y'all got a good one. Just had to put that out there. Like I said, I'm probably gonna kind of move more towards more TikTok content because even though I don't have a TikTok, look, it's a multitude of videos out there. They're much smaller. I can review them much quicker. And on top of that, look, some of these be funny. I can't even like. I mean, I had to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to watch this one already beforehand because me watching it the first time is mostly me laughing about it, laughing at it. But this review here is definitely unscripted. Me just coming out and saying what I got to say on the situation. And other than that, look, hey, same as usual. If you like the content, definitely like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Look, my numbers as in watched are going up a little bit, but I definitely need more people to subscribe, and that kind of keeps me motivated, kind of keep these videos coming. Like, they're gonna come, but look, hey, at the end of the day, it's mostly me putting stuff out there that I feel like people are gonna care to watch. So, even though yes, most of my content is about how they're pretty much lying about the job market and stuff like that, if this is kind of stuff y'all like to see, then yeah, I guess we can kind of throw a couple of these in there. I mean, who don't like to laugh at the swag a bit here and there? And once again, just pointing out that hair is still not done. Sex worker can afford to get her hair done, but want to be political. Man, I'm out. Bye.